I was always fairly well off, but in the last, I'd say 3 years, I got to a point where money is truly not real. Money has no value whatsoever for me anymore. So if I want something, I'll just buy it. And I spend ridiculous amounts of money on stupid things. I know if
So what are some stupid purchases?
No, but I compare it to my old life, right? Because I'm from a council estate in Luton. So me and Tristan will sit around and talk about how insane it is that we'll go to a hotel and we'll prefer the shower head in the suite as opposed to the normal hotel room. So instead of spending £3,500 a night in the normal hotel room, we'll spend £11,000 a night for the suite because of a shower head. And we're sitting there thinking $8,000 a night because of the shower head. Like, it's so unfathomable when you used to make like £1,500 a month and you lived in a council estate, and it's crazy, but money just has no value, and you just get to the point where you do whatever you want. And you also over prepare, you overspend. If I fly somewhere, let's say I fly to Marbella, I might want to go for a drive. So I'll get 3 supercars, put on a truck, moved from Bucharest, driven all the way across Europe, 4,000 kilometers, all the way to Marbella, taken out, put it in front of the hotel, arranged. I'll go to Marbella on the jet. I'll sit there for 2 days. I don't feel like driving. The cars don't move. Picked up again, put back on the truck, flown up. It's just, I have a security team, like everything. It's just, you just do it because money has no value. I might want it. You end up with a lot of staff and a lot of people around you who are good at these kind of things. And they become invaluable as part of the team. But yeah, there's people who organize it for them.
So if someone wanted to get to that level, what would you say their net worth would have to be to not worry about money and just buy whatever they want whenever they want?
Net worth is subjective, like we just discussed. I think it's more about how much and I don't even think it's how much money you have in the bank, because you can tear through any amount of money. It's how much money you're earning.
Okay.
I think a good life costs about $1 million a month.
Wow. That's a big figure.
$1 million a month is a good life. $500,000 a month is doable, and you can still live good. But if you want to really truly live like the best human experience, it costs about $1 million a month.
And is that earned income or income with your assets increasing?
That's income that you have coming into the bank that you can spend.
Okay, that you're taxed on as well. So it's slightly less than that, but
depending where you pay tax.
When I started my business, I was told by my mentor, what you've got to have a good life is 100,000 a month. That was 36 years ago.
Well, it's pretty similar now, maybe inflation and stuff, but I can give you, it depends on the way you're living, right? Because I told this story before on another podcast, but Dan Bilzerian messaged me and he said, look, let's hang out. I was like, all right, cool. And I was in Bucharest, he was in France. So by the time, I only wanted to go see him for a day. So by the time I got the jet, I wanted my security team to come. So I had to get the 4 security team, and they came and obviously had to pay their wage. And I put the cars on the truck to make sure they were waiting for me there in case we would decide to go for a spin. And then I landed with the security team, and everyone needs hotels. It's 8 people in a 5-star hotel. And then you're on the ground. You have to rent these V-classes, armored ones to look after you. And you go, you see Dan, you talk to him for an hour, you have dinner, and then everyone gets back on the jet. By the time I saw Dan in a 48-hour whirlwind, by the time we moved the cars, which I didn't drive, the security came and said, you spent $400,000. You spent $400,000 to go see your friend. Like
so would you class him as your friend?
Yeah. And that's how easily you can spend money. Like I could have gone Wizz Air. I could have gone by myself.
Could you have gone Wizz Air?
Well, no, but technically you could, and get a taxi or get the bus, but you just don't, because money has no value.
Andrew Tate flies Wizz Air. How many seats would that sell?
I should contact him, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Should let me fly for free.
Yeah.
But I even said to myself I'd never fly private because of how ridiculously expensive it is. I said to
you just get a water and just drink it throughout the flight.
That's what I was doing as well, sitting there with Pringles.
Yeah.
But I said to her, I was like, my dear, why do you care? It's the rules. It's the rules. Listen, there's no police. There's no camera. Why? Please use your brain. Engage your brain. I know you're some 21-year-old Polish woman who's never fucking thought of anything in her life. Please think. Why do you care? You know this is stupid. Nobody else wants me to wear one. Why do you give a shit? But it's the rules. It's the rules. It's like they're fucking slaves. It's like their brains are programmed. You can't get through the programming. I'm like, please, my dear, think. I will give you $500,000. Like, but it's the rules, Like,
really?
They're fucking, I'll never give it to her, but I said it as like a thought. You say it as a thought experiment, but they're just, their brains.
If money's no object.
But their brains are controlled. Yeah. Their brains are completely controlled to the point where you can't get through to them with any form of logic. It was amazing. That was the worst period of my life, this fucking imaginary pandemic garbage. I'm a peaceful person. I've never literally walked around Earth so angry. I walked into gas stations, mask, no. You have to wear a mask, no. Just
Do you think it's a power thing as well? There's no like a situation where someone would have power over you except for that when they can enforce it.
Completely. And maybe I'm too egotistical to have people tell me what to do. Perhaps I'm at that level in my life, but it was just fucking dumb shit. And I'm walking into gas, and the number of times I walk in a gas station, put a mask on. No, I won't serve you. Okay, is the gas free? Because I've filled up. So you're gonna take my money or I'm gonna have free gas? No, you have to pay. Well, then fucking serve me, dummy. Yeah. Put a mask on. No, it's just some stupid thing. In the end, they take my money. It was a big waste of everybody's time. And I'd say to them, bro, you're earning 700 pounds a month working for a corporation that wouldn't give a fuck about you if you got stage 5 cancer. Why do you care? If I worked in BP and someone at a gas station decided to start a fire in the corner and barbecue some sausages, I wouldn't give a I'd be like, please stop, bro. Whatever. Like, why do these people, they're so fervently passionate about the rules of the BP station?
But do we need people? You're a fucking
slave in your mind.
Do we need slaves though? Because
yes,
obviously we need people to work and do those jobs that obviously the free people can't do.
And this is the full circle realization when you get to the point where, as frustrating as it was, you need this slave class of people who buy bullshit so that I don't have to do bullshit stuff, which is great. But usually the bullshit people can't tell me what to do. It's only during COVID they were allowed, and now that's all over. They can't tell me what to do anymore, so it's fine. But if you're and not everybody's mind can be free, because in society it would break down. But of course, some people's minds are designed for freedom and some people's aren't. But it's amazing when you're talking to the slave mind, trying to get through to them. And it played out even in my cancellation. There are people who would sit and get furiously angry about the subject of me, saying I'm a bad person. And when you ask them one bad thing I've said, they don't know. How could you be angry about something and you don't even know why? It's all clown world. It's absolute clown world. It's slave mind, and the slave mind is actually a dangerous thing. When I'm combating it, people think I'm combating it just for fun. No, the most heinous crimes in the history of humanity have been conducted by people who blindly obey governments. Blindly. If you're gonna sit there and be a dummy and blindly comply and be told to hate a certain race or hate a certain person or do a certain thing without thinking, that's how World War II happens. All these people who sit and say, I'm a good person and you're bad because I have my mask and I have my boosters and you're bad. No, I think, you don't. You're the bad people. History is full of people like you who don't fucking think, who do as they're told, and you're the ones who end up fucking murdering people, not people like me. Everyone likes to believe they would have resisted the Nazis. They're the ones who would have not done it. But then they're fucking told to mask up and bend over for the fucking dildo and they take it. It's garbage. Clown world.
I think one of the greatest things during COVID was having my own business, and I think the same with you as well.
Same for me.
Because you could say you're going anywhere.
It gave me
for
freedom
work.
for anything. I got pulled over a few times when I was driving a van for work, because they said, "Oh, the car for work." And they said, "We can't be working you in your car." I said, "Well, I can. I own the business." But with the van, I didn't get stopped once. I could go anywhere I wanted.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
I'm thankful for lockdown.
But what I can't understand, and I couldn't believe, was how many people bought into that lockdown. If you'd have said to me before it, we're going to lock the country down, no one's going to go out for 3 months, this is going to happen, I said, there's no way. They're not going to accept that. Are you joking me? And I think a few years before they wouldn't have done either, but they seem to have softened everyone.
And that's their goal, right? Their goal is to soften everybody's brains and to delete one side of the argument. This is why I talk about the Matrix. People say, why do you talk about the Matrix all the time? And I say there are people who are living right now in a computer-controlled, computer-generated reality. If you believe everything you're watching on the news, you are believing a complete false version of reality. And the idea of that reality is to keep your brain occupied enough so you can continue to do a shit job with shit wages and pay your taxes until you die. That's exactly that's the plot of the Matrix movie. They are abusing your body and controlling your mind so that your body will sit there and do what they need it to do until you're no longer useful anymore. And that's exactly what's happening.